The divorce papers quivered in my grasp as I observed my husband's expression, not out of sorrow or remorse, but due to the struggle it took to suppress a smile. "So, you're really just going to walk away?" Jace inquired, his eyebrows raised in feigned concern, while his fingers were entwined with those of Chantel, his lover. She was seated next to him on my designer sofa, the one I had saved for 6 months to purchase. "I'm taking all my personal belongings with me," I stated calmly, placing the papers on the coffee table between us to ensure clarity. Chantel's gaze swept across our living room, pausing on the custom lighting fixtures, the artfully arranged furniture, and the hand-picked decor items that had transformed this outdated house into something resembling a magazine layout. "This place is perfect," she breathed, gliding her hand along the velvet armrest. "It's exactly what I've always wanted. Your old clothes and whatever, just take them. Honestly, they only remind me of our unhappy times together." I nodded slowly, choosing not to correct his misconception. "I'll have movers here tomorrow. Just remember, you agreed to no division of property. My name is Lauren. I'm 29 and work as an interior designer. This is the tale of how I cleared out more than just a house. 3 years ago, I wed Jace, convinced we were partners in every way. He was 34, employed in construction management, and had inherited his grandparents' house shortly before we met. The place was structurally sound but hadn't seen an update since the 1980s, with all beige walls and scratched laminate. Jace had furnished it with hand-me-downs from friends and budget store basics. When we tied the knot, I recognized its potential. With my design skills and savings, I revitalized that old property into something extraordinary. Every item was meticulously chosen. Mid-century modern furniture that harmonized with the home's structure, striking lighting that drew the eye upward, and custom window treatments that framed the view flawlessly. I kept a record of every purchase, partly due to my professional habits and partly because I had realized early in our marriage that Jace was not careful with money. This carelessness also affected our relationship. Small issues piled up. Dishes were left in the sink even though we had agreed to share the chores. He complained about the meals I prepared after long 10-hour workdays. He made dismissive remarks about my fixation on appearances. Yet, I continued to make an effort, convinced that marriage required compromise. However, I couldn't compromise on the discovery of his texts to Chantel 6 months ago. She was 25, a temporary employee in his office, with an Instagram account filled with unattainable home decor that she couldn't afford. Their messages revealed what had attracted her to my husband. Access to the beautiful home she believed he had created. She had told a friend, "Jace has such incredible taste. His wife just works all the time and doesn't appreciate what he's built." I saved screenshots of everything, the messages, the dinner dates, the hotel receipts, not for confrontation, but for confirmation. I needed to be sure before deciding my next step. When I finally reached out to Chantel directly, proposing a meeting to discuss the situation, she appeared more thrilled than remorseful. She showed up at our house in a dress that cost more than her weekly earnings, clearly bought for this occasion. "I just want you to know," she said right away, leaning in with feigned sympathy. "I never intended to hurt you, but when two people connect like Jace and I have, let's just get this over with." I interrupted her by sliding the divorce papers across the table. Jace and I had agreed before getting married that there would be no division of property in the event of a divorce. Chantel's eyes sparkled with excitement. She squeezed Jace's hand and said, "See, I told you she'd be reasonable." Jace nodded, relief visible in his posture. Lauren, has always been practical. It's one of her better traits. The slip of the tongue didn't catch me off guard. He had been calling me by the wrong name for months now. "Let me give you a tour," Chantel exclaimed unexpectedly, rising to her feet. "I have countless ideas for this space," I observed quietly as she strolled through my meticulously arranged rooms, her fingers gliding over surfaces, mentally envisioning my absence. "These light fixtures are stunning. And this dining table, is it custom-made?" "It is," I replied. Everything here was deliberately selected to enhance the area. "Perfect," she sighed. "I wouldn't alter a thing." "You won't need to," Jace reassured her. Lauren is just taking her clothes and personal belongings, right? I nodded again, feeling no need to provide further details. The movers will arrive at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That evening, I spent the night in the guest room, listening to them whisper and laugh in what used to be my bedroom. Sleep eluded me. Instead, I went over my inventory lists one last time, ensuring nothing was missed. The movers showed up right at 9 a.m. the following morning. 2 large trucks and 6 workers. I had hired the top company in the city, one I frequently worked with for my design clients. "Good morning, Miss Turner," the foreman greeted. "We have the inventory list you provided. Looks like a big job today, huh?" Jace and Chantel came out of the bedroom, still in their robes, looking irritated by the noise. "Why are there 2 trucks?" Chantel inquired, scowling as workers began to carefully take down the living room artwork. "How many clothes do you own?" I didn't respond, simply handed the foreman my tablet with the full inventory. The crew worked swiftly, wrapping each piece of furniture in protective blankets, carefully detaching light fixtures, and even taking down the custom window treatments. It took 20 minutes for Jace to grasp what was occurring. "What the hell?" he yelled, rushing towards the workers who were disassembling the sectional sofa. "Stop. That's my couch." I handed him a folder. "Here are the receipts. Every piece of furniture, every appliance, every light fixture, and every decorative item was bought by me with my money after we got married." His face lost all color as he flipped through the documents. "You can't do that. We've been utilizing these items for years. Just because we use them doesn't mean ownership changes," I stated, and we both agreed on that. "There will be no division of property." "Are you taking everything?" Chantel's voice escalated to a near scream. "Not the house," I clarified, "as that belongs to Jace. Just everything inside it." By noon, the living room was stripped bare except for the built-in shelves. By 2 p.m., the kitchen was left with nothing but the cabinets and countertops. By 4 p.m., even the curtain rods had been taken down. Jace fluctuated between begging and making threats. "You'll regret this," he spat as the workers carefully packed up the surround sound system. "I'll sue you." "On what basis?" I inquired softly. "We have a written agreement. No division of property. You retain what is yours. I retain what is mine." As the workers started loading the final truck, a small panel van arrived. 2 men in coveralls approached the house. "Mrs. Turner, we're here for the wallpaper removal." Chantel, who had been quietly sitting on the floor since the dining chairs were taken, looked up in shock. "The wallpaper is custom printed," I explained, "specifically designed for this house. It costs nearly $8,000, my company." "You can't take the walls," Jace yelled. "Not the walls," I corrected him. "Just what's on them. As you mentioned, I'm taking all my personal belongings. I left them in an empty house with bare walls and exposed outlets where my designer sconces once hung. The house appeared older than it did before I had transformed it. All the imperfections were now visible without my carefully arranged distractions." 2 weeks later, Jace called. His voice had lost the assurance that had once drawn me to him. "Lauren, please," he started. "Chantel has left. She said she couldn't continue living like this. We need your assistance." "We?" I questioned. "I meant I need your assistance. I was mistaken about everything." "Mistaken about what exactly?" I asked, although I was fully aware of what he meant. He sighed. "About us, about Chantel, about the house. I had no idea how much effort you invested in making it look beautiful." Chantel kept voicing her dissatisfaction. "Nothing seemed satisfactory. The second-hand furniture I purchased looks awful." She mentioned that she didn't agree to live in a dormitory. "That sounds challenging," I replied, feeling indifferent. "Would you consider returning or at least assisting me in making this place livable again?" I reflected on the furniture now set up in my new apartment. I had already sold most of it. Too many memories attached. The money had financed a complete renovation of my new space with items that better represented who I am now. I'm afraid that's not feasible, I said. But I wish you the best with your decorating. I ended the call before he could reply, then blocked his number. The divorce had been finalized just a week prior, officially ending our marriage. Some spaces, once cleared, should remain that way. Before you leave, here's a quick bonus for sticking around. If you enjoy learning and growing like I do, you should definitely try audiobooks. I've got an exclusive offer with Audible. Your first month is entirely free. That gives you access to over 500,000 titles, at no cost to you. All the details are waiting in the description. Don't let this opportunity pass you by.